Watch how I flip. Watch how I whip. I'm in the whip. All in the wrist. I never switch. Ice in the wrist. Car on the wrist. All in the wrist. Watch how I flip. Watch how I whip.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Atlanta Falcons. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Murray now on first down. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Looking to throw again on second down. Murray, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Murray now. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Tap McKinley. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up fourth down. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. On the ground with Bryce Love, the former Stanford Cardinal. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. They'll run again with Love on first down. And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
43. Check, 43. You ain't got nothing. You ain't get it.
On play action, they'll throw. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And an alley to run. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs, because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue, just make sure you feed me the football? And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. He'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 36. Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. On first down, here's Love. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
2nd and 6. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They run with the former Pitt Panther, Quadriolison, and he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Second and 10. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the headlinesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll drop the throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Extra point up and through by Myers. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick.
You see me out here? That's right. We can't be
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
That ball complete to Isabella. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still, no yardage. Okay.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
First catch so far for Julio. He's got a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Murray, a quick throw out to Kirk. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. On 2nd down now. It's Johnson. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Falcons grab it. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free, creating something good for your team.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
The catch is made by the tight end, Nauta. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Going to give it to Love. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Bryce Love. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
And that's how you want to start a sequence defensively. That's what we used to call, partner, hello, glad to meet you. Tagged him for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Murray slide, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Grady Jarrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Murray with a 3rd and long. Being chased out left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fielded at about the 28. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Flush to his right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
The Cards going nickel, an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin him back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
First down, Murray. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. On 2nd down, here's Murray. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for everyone possible to... And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. A gain of 6 there on first. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. In a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
On second down, Love. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Bryce Love with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And the Falcons push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Murray now to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Murray going to try to throw on third down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run with Love. And he'll just burrow his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Look at me, zipper. 58's the money. Go. I got him. Fight.
They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Morgan. We have hit halftime. Still, we now proceed to the start of the second half. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Brashad Perriman. That'll bring up second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. That's complete to Nada, the tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 40. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, right at the 15-yard line here. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. To throw again on second down. Murray fighting, lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will make this a 19-point game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And heading back out there now, the Falcons defense here. And they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been at the practices, the drills where they're trying to strip the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Now can they do it again? They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Again, it's Johnson. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Here we go, dude. Here I come.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. Yeah, he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Murray going to throw, and that will be incomplete.
Now we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Running to start the drive is Love. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
They'll look to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And we'll see what he can do. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Falcons grab it.
Oh, we got it. Good job, D. Good job, D.
And that's what friends are for.
Right? As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Hey, Foxtrot. 23's the money.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dante Fowler able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Morgan. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on fourth.
Well, I think everything was impressive about that one, except they didn't get a first down. But I like their field position now after that play.
Yeah, now you got a pretty makeable field goal opportunity. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They go to Johnson again. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Atlanta. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Cardinals on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Marcus Davenport coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll start the drive with Love here. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
I'm coming after you. Hey, exit.
2nd and 3. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
The throw right sideline here is complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Trying to toss play to Love. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Murray now on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put in.
That's going to be caught by Kirk for a Cardinals touchdown. Christian Kirk, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals cut into that lead.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field
They had the Cardinal offense not going anywhere. They'll stay out and go for 2. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, we try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Staying on the ground, it's Love. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Looking to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They'll drop the throw. That is caught inside the 5. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. They come out here in the eye. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
43 is the mic.
Here's Love again. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Falcons push further out in front. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns has got him in the lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Murray. He gets this one to Johnson. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray.
It is hard in zone cover.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. He's going to let it fly. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Love. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Ready? Check the out, check the out, check the out. Watch tight end. 4 down. Check. Slam. Pilot, 64, weak. Ready.
On 2nd down now, it's Love. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
8 lead. Cut. Hey. 43's the mic. Now.
On 1st down, Love. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for him. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Hey, seam 6. 43. Mike's 43. Here we go. Let's go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That is caught. at the 7. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That puts them in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
Ready? Mike, 58, right there. Look at me, zipper. Hit it.
Now a give running right is Love. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away, taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Atlanta, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.